Getting sick sucks. Not only does it break our hearts when our kids are sick, congested, coughing nonstop, and battling a fever and illness all night long, but it also disrupts our life in a major way. When our kids need to stay home from school, it immediately alters our work schedule and our ability to keep up with everything on our plate as parents. And if the illness drags on for days or even weeks, like is far too common for so many kids and families today, it's a major issue all around. That is why so many parents absolutely love it when we teach them how to not only help their kids and themselves recover from an illness in a safe, natural, and drug-free way, but also how to make sure that that recovery happens as fast as possible. This is a video for parents and families who want a natural, effective, drug-free approach to recovering from illness and respiratory infections faster. And if you're tired of the cycle of recurring illness and wanting to understand what's really going on, what's the root cause, and how can we access real, true healing, this information is for you. All right, first let's understand how the immune system really works. The truth is, germs, viruses, bacteria, pollen, it's the stuff on the outside that everybody else blames for getting sick. Oh, kids are sick, stay away. Oh, that guy's coughing, stay away. It's not the exposure to germs and pathogens that makes us sick. It's our inability to deal with them. Now, there's some nerd words here called resilience and adaptability, but really that's how the immune system is designed by God and built to work. We are supposed to handle seasonal transitions. We are supposed to be able to handle viruses and bacteria and pathogens. And if they get into the body, as long as our nervous system and our immune system, we'll separate those and then recombine those in a minute. As long as our immune system is working strong, we recognize those as, hey, you're a bad guy. We're good. We've got the Army. We've got the Navy. We've got the Marines. We've got our internal defense systems, and we're going to deploy them, and we're going to get rid of that pathogen, that bacteria, that virus. Often, when your immune system is actually working at its best, you won't even know that it's working. That's the ideal state, to have your immune system working. And those people, kids, families that have the strongest nervous systems and most regulated nervous systems have the most accurate, efficient, and effective immune systems. So often when the nervous system is strong and the immune system is strong, it's called the hygiene hypothesis, meaning it's about resilience, not avoiding things, and overcoming things, not hiding from things. That nervous system and immune system will often get your kiddo through that illness or get you through it, and you don't even know it's happening. So there's no fever, there's no cough, there's no signs of the illness. Now that's ideal. But what about when the signs are there? Even my kiddos, well-adjusted, we live as clean and healthy as can be, usually once or twice as the seasons shift and things are going through those changes, their immune system will be challenged. A growth spurt, a seasonal change. Some of these things will kind of trigger just a little bit of lowered resistance, and there'll be a little cough, or there'll be some congestion, or there'll be a fever, and they won't be feeling good. And that's when we deploy these 3 R's at 3x level, because we do this all the time. We prioritize rest. We prioritize healthy fluids, supplements, and the things we'll talk about in Replenish. And we also proactively recharge our kiddos' nervous systems and immune systems on the regular. But when they are sick, we double down, often honestly, just to stick to the math with this list of 3, we often 3x down and really prioritize rest, replenish, and recharge. So the immune system is the system that needs to be strong. If we are sick, we know that maybe it got a little dysfunctional, a little discombobulated, and we need to reboot and get that sucker working strong again. To do that, we can't skip over the role of the nervous system. So the immune system has 2 parts to it. There's the one side, which is called the Th1 response. Now, this is the nerdiest part of the video. I promise. We'll be brief. We'll keep it simple. The Th1 side is the get rid of it. It's the expressive side. So that's the fever, that's the rash, that's the stuff that gets rid of it. The second side of the immune system is the memory side, the antibody side, the Th2 side. And that is a really important side of the immune system, not to just finish recovering from that first acute illness, but its real role is to say, hey, we're going to recognize this virus, this bacteria, this son of a gun later on, and we're going to get rid of it even faster. So the second time or third time you're exposed to this, as long as you let your natural nervous system and immune system response do its job in its entirety, stay through to pull the string on this one, Now, the next time around, the immune system recognizes said virus, said bacteria, said pathogen, and deals with it without you even knowing it. That is how immune systems are supposed to be built. Our kids have natural, genetic, passed down from mom especially, but mom and dad through the genetic code, and then really through breast milk. And those things really build the immune system through nutrition, through the gut, and through the nervous system. And so we're ready to handle things even when we're tiny little infants and babies. And so they're not as delicate, they're not as susceptible as this kind of medical fear-mongering system has made us be. They actually have pretty resilient systems, and it gets more resilient and more strong the more battles it wins and the more things it's exposed to. So I know right now we're having kind of a delicate conversation for a lot of moms and dads because you were told to be afraid of everything, to put Purell in a, friggin' little mini water gun bazooka and just spray antimicrobial and everything all over you. I'm being facetious intentionally, but we have been put into this 24/7, 365 fear cycle about germs, about bacteria, about viruses. Right now, as we're coming up at the end of winter and transitioning into spring, it's all anybody can talk about. Oh, everybody's sick. We better stay away. No, we better get stronger. We better get more resilient, more balanced, more regulated immune systems. And so there's two sides to the immune system, but there's two sides to the nervous system as well. And the nervous system must be in what's called balance and regulation and optimal function in order for the immune system to be. So what happens for a lot of our kiddos is their nervous systems are so stressed out. So especially if a kiddo has sensory issues, ADHD, autism, anxiety, those are neuro-stress challenges. That means the nervous system gets stuck in what's called sympathetic fight or flight response more often. And that not only limits the drainage and the plumbing because the body is still wound up, so it just can't move things through. It actually shuts down digestive motility. It shuts down respiration and lymphatic motility. So we call that poor plumbing. Like when the nervous system and the body is stressed, it'll actually limit the fluid and digestive elimination pathways. So more things can get stuck in the body and then create opportunistic infections. But also when the sympathetic fight or flight stress side of the nervous system is running the show for your kiddo, they're stuck in a pro-inflammatory state. So the body will create more mucus and more inflammation and more problems. And that's why so often they not only get sick more often than you like, but why it takes so often to get them to recover, because we've got to hit reset on the nervous system and recharge the other side of the nervous system. See, the second side of the nervous system is called the parasympathetic system. And that is the side of the nervous system that has an anti-inflammatory detoxification immune system connection. And so when this parasympathetic vagus nerve side of the nervous system is really rocking and stimulated and activated, it triggers the immune system to be stronger, more robust, and it can get through the illness and the infection a whole lot faster. All right, so last couple of minutes, let's rapid fire through the 3 R's of rapid recovery. Number 1, you already know this one, but really lean into it. Prioritize rest. Your kiddo, yourself should be tired. Your immune system, because it pulls a lot of energy from the nervous system to do its job, is going to exhaust the body. And so there's going to be a lot of fatigue and a lot of malaise, and take naps, go to bed early, lay around. That's good. Do your best though, because technology is so sympathetic fight or flight nervous system stimulating. Don't just have your kiddo watch TV, and definitely don't have them be on a device, scrolling social media, YouTube, so forth, because those will stimulate the stress side of the nervous system, keep the immune system wound up, pro-inflammatory. So reading books, taking naps, just relaxing is what you want to really focus on. It aids both physical and neurological and immune system recovery. And just disconnect and rest. Number 2, the science of replenishment. Now, this is basic and straightforward. You need fluids. But what kind? When your child's nervous system and immune system, or yours as well, is really going through it, we need electrolytes, we need magnesium, we need zinc, we need vitamin D, we need vitamin C. We need these things that really boost the system. You can add in things like bone broth, elderberry syrup, raw local honey, superfood smoothies. We have a bunch of supplements that are herbal and homeopathic that we get from, if you're here locally, the health food store, or well-rooted, that we love. A lot of clean, if your child is hungry and if you can eat, make sure it's clean protein and macronutrients. So replenish and refuel the body, because it's working hard and it needs exactly that, because it's going to exhaust some of those resources doing the job that it needs. But the third step of recharge is incredible. Now, I could honestly go through a multi-hour nerdy neuro endocrine, immune system, super system, science-y talk, but I'm not going to. I'm going to give you 3 ways that chiropractic adjustments really, four ways that chiropractic adjustments really help recharge the immune system and get the body healthier faster once again. Number 1, plumbing. We mentioned it earlier, but chiropractic adjustments just get fluid and congestion loosened up. We call it the drainage effect or the plumbing effect. And so sinuses can be jammed up, lungs can be jammed up, lymphatics can be jammed up, and we have very specific targeted adjustments that can get the fluid moving, and that waste, those pathogens, the viruses, the bacteria, the mucus, all the crud can get out of there. Now that's the kind of basic version of what an adjustment does. Second, getting a little bit more nerdy, what we now know, neurologically focused chiropractic adjustments help regulate what are called cytokines. So the nerd stuff on this is things called interleukin and TNF and all these other things. And if you're really nerdy, go ahead and Google them. But when there is subluxation and nervous system stress, this whole cytokine storm is much more likely to take over, and they're pro-inflammatory, illness-causing cytokines. So what we now know is that chiropractic adjustments help hit reset and really restore and rebalance and take those cytokine response and that inflammatory response down, and that leads to a decrease in systematic and systemic inflammation and a much more efficient immune response. So cytokines are involved. Okay, the third way that we do the third step, recharge nervous system and immune system, is what's through the HPA axis. Now, this is our stress system. Hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenals. Adrenals kick out cortisol, adrenaline, other stress hormones, and that triggers you guessed it, stressful, inflammatory immune system limiting response. So when you can calm the body through these chiropractic adjustments that are very specialized, very nervous system focused, you can actually downregulate that adrenal response, get less cortisol, less stress, less tension, less inflammation in the body, and that really helps in a major way. And the fourth way that these adjustments really recharge the nervous system is really cool and really nerdy, so I'll keep it really brief. But it's through the connection, or what's called brain-body communication, and neuroimmune modulation through the vagus nerve. VAGUS. Now, the vagus nerve and what's called vagal nerve tone, which we actually test for this in our offices with technology called HRV. So if you wear a Garmin or a Whoop or an Oura Ring, or if you've heard of those things, that's a very basic rudimentary version of measuring HRV. We use a very diagnostically accurate and advanced version of it. But what happens when vagal nerve tone is suppressed, which can come from stress, exhaustion, toxins, and inflammation. So the immune system, when sick, when challenged, it's going to really create drag and pull on the vagus nerve. So what we do is very intentionally activate and stimulate the vagus nerve with our adjustments, and you upregulate that immune system response in a really major and cool way. So there's an awesome article on our website. You can probably find it along with this video or up in our bio, or you can just comment below and send us a DM and we'll send it to you. I wrote a really, really long, nerdy, awesome article that breaks down all that neuroimmunological science. So those of you that are still rocking with this video and love to nerd out on this stuff, and especially if your kiddo is chronically sick, takes forever to recover, has autoimmune issues, pandas, PANS, those sort of things, especially, then you may want to read that article in its entirety. But in closing, getting sick is a normal part of life. What we want to do is not have it disrupt our kids' lives, our families' lives too much at all. So we want to really deploy these 3 R's in full, double time, triple time, when we are faced with a sickness, a congestion, a respiratory illness. And so if you love this stuff and you want to have a step-by-step guide that you could pull up on your phone or your computer or even print out, then just comment below and we will send you our Kick the Sick Nature's Medicine Cabinet Guide, and you'll get so much value out of that to not only keep your kids and family healthy in the first place, but know exactly what our cheat codes and our step-by-step process, supplements, adjustments, all the nerdy science behind it, even more so than we went through in this video, is all found step by step in that guide. Put the comment in, we'll send it right to you. God bless. See you on the next one.